Good afternoon. Today, a group of people gathered at the state Supreme Court rather, to call attention to the state's competency laws and the people impacted by them. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Sam Shocker. Right now, Colorado has no good mechanism for dealing with people who commit serious crimes but are too mentally ill to go on trial. Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates joins us now from downtown. Kevin, what do they hope to accomplish?
Well, Sam and Kim, they want Governor Jared Polis to call a special session to repeal or amend state laws that have led to the dismissal of charges against some people accused of violent crimes. Right now, when a defendant is deemed mentally incompetent to stand trial, and there is no reasonable likelihood that treatment will change that, judges must dismiss criminal charges. People deemed incompetent can't understand the proceedings or assist in their own defense. Among those who spoke today were 2 daughters of Christy Kirst. Kirst died in a hit-and-run crash at a McDonald's drive-thru. The man who admitted doing it was deemed incompetent and the charges were dropped.
First, help me understand how our laws regarding competency can allow for someone who says, and I quote, "I knew I hit her. I knew I was dragging her. I knew it would kill her. I just had to get out of there." What's made this loss even more difficult is the lack of justice we've received in the courtroom. I've been left with far more questions than answers. How are individuals who commit such serious, devastating acts allowed to re-enter society without accountability?
It's worth noting that Governor Polis has already called a special session. It's set to start next week to deal with budget issues. It's not clear at this point whether there would be support for calling another session to deal with this issue. Reporting live at the Colorado State Supreme Court, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
And Kevin, a lot of emotional stories there, personal stories. We'll have to wait and see if it pushes the needle for additional legislation.
Yeah, we've reported on another case involving somebody whose charges were dismissed that went on to shoot 3 people after that. So these are very emotional stories and they impact families in a big way.
Right, yeah. Kevin Vaughn, thank you.
The Lee Fire is now more than 116,000 acres inside. While crews aren't making much progress on this massive fire, they are making progress on the ground on the nearby Elk Fire. That's now up to 30% contained. Fire managers say as things increase with resources, they'll be able to relocate to the southern area of the Lee Fire and help out. According to the Rio Blanco Sheriff's Office, 2 residential buildings and 2 outbuildings have been lost in the Elk Fire. They also confirmed in the Lee Fire, 3 residential buildings have been lost and 12 outbuildings lost. Officials say the Lee Fire is especially tough because it's in really challenging terrain.
The fuels are really dry, really receptive, and that combined with the weather conditions creates near impossible conditions for us to really do what we would normally do in being effective, direct, and we're having to look at longer term plans and things out a little bit farther than we normally would.
Right now, our team is getting an inside look at the efforts on the ground. Our Mark Salinger will bring us more on Next with Kyle Clark.
And we had another cooler day around the metro. We avoided getting into the 90s, but our Weather Impact team is tracking the heat returning tomorrow.
It was a good day, though, to catch some air. Take a look at this. Our producer spotted a paraglider flying around Lookout Mountain this afternoon. Brave, good for them. Enjoy the view. A great afternoon and not too hot outside, but Kathy, like we're at 88, so or something. Isn't that what it is?
Right. It's
okay.
all kind
We're close.
of perspective, right?
Yes.
We're hoping that we stay, Kim, below 90 degrees today. That would be 2 days just below average as we're about to head into record territory the next 2 days. So outside we'll enjoy the sunshine. Not a lot of smoke and haze today, so the air quality is a bit improved over yesterday. Nice drive getting underway with not really too many weather worries. Beautiful drive into the high country. country today with blue skies. These are current readings around the area. 86 at DIA, 89 in Pueblo. Heat is starting to build, you'll notice, across eastern Utah and the western slope. And that's a trend that will continue into the Front Range. Along with the elevated temperature will come an increase in winds. So we're talking about critical fire weather, especially in the mountains tomorrow, when a red flag warning will go out for high fire danger. Windy, warm, low humidity. A fire weather watch will go out for western Colorado on Thursday, and all of the wildfire smoke coming in from at least 10 blazes across our state, creating an air quality and unhealthy air quality situation for those in the Northwest Plateau and western slope areas. There's teeny tiny little bit of moisture I'm looking out across southern Colorado. Not enough to get excited about, but I'm watching it. Isolated storms will come through tonight and again tomorrow, but again, high base storms with wind and lightning and not really the rain that we need, making it all the way to the ground. Temperatures trending out of the upper 80s now into the mid 70s by 9 o'clock tonight. Coming up, we're going to check the radar again and have that air quality forecast and smoke forecast for you ahead of 2 days with near triple-digit high temperatures. We'll talk about that and when we might see rain. Your extended forecast is just ahead.
An update to the story we brought to you as breaking news at 4 o'clock yesterday. The suspect in the Texas Target shooting is being identified. 32-year-old Ethan Nienecker is accused of shooting 2 adults and a child in the parking lot. He later stole 2 cars before being arrested. He's being charged with capital murder by terror threat and capital murder of person under 10 years of age. The suspect has a criminal history, including a conviction in 2017 of felony assault. He also has a history of mental health struggles. Well, there is pushback against President Trump's unprecedented move to take control of the police department in Washington, D.C.
The D.C. mayor admits she had little legal recourse here without statehood. NBC's Vaughn Hilliard has the latest from Washington.
National Guard troops are now patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C., less than 24 hours after President Trump announced his plan to fight crime in the nation's capital.
Over the course of the next month, the Trump administration will relentlessly pursue and arrest every violent criminal in the district who breaks the law.
Today, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser met with Attorney General Pam Bondi to talk about the federal takeover of the Metropolitan Police Department.
What I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have.
Both Bowser and Bondi called the meeting productive. Both say they will work together to make the city safer. The meeting comes after the president announced yesterday he was taking over the plan to fight crime in D.C.
This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency.
He painted D.C. as lawless, saying gangs roam the streets and displaced people have taken over. That didn't sit well with some D.C. residents who demonstrated against what they consider federal overreach.
The whole idea that there is some kind of a crisis of disorder in D.C. is a made-up, phony story to distract attention from deteriorating economy.
The federal takeover comes as data shows violent crime is down 26%, homicides down 12%. Some residents, though, say crime is being underreported, and others welcome the attention, but say 30 days won't solve any crime problem.
If there aren't longer-term, more impactful changes that take place over that 30 days, that the feds and the National Guard and anyone else who's involved is just going to go about their business and the MPD will be left holding the bag.
The 800 National Guards members will not be serving in law enforcement capacities on the streets. Instead, they will be assisting the officers on the ground. The president said he will leave them mobilized until he is determined that conditions have improved. Now, they are under the law only able to remain on the streets for 30 days unless Congress approves an extension. In Washington, Vaughn Hilliard, NBC News.
Let's switch gears. There were some special guests at the Broncos training camp. You may not recognize them out of their banana yellow. Our Broncos insider Mike Kliss spotted the Savannah Bananas out at Dove Valley this morning. We're just 4 days away from the Broncos' only home preseason game. Mike's going to join us with more from training camp in our next half hour. But hey, they're catching a little camp, watching the guys practice.
That's right. And right now we're 53 days away from the Nuggets getting back on the court for the preseason. And today, the league and NBC revealed a couple of the games for the upcoming season, treating Nuggets fans with a little Christmas Day game once again.
So Scotty Gaines is out here. Scotty, I know we're not even through preseason.
Did we say 53 days away from the preseason? Wow.
Hey, we're counting down the days to real football, if you will, because everybody says preseason doesn't count.
I say preseason doesn't count as well.
Okay, but now we're counting down to basketball.
Well, I tell you, I think for the first time in a long time, Christmas night in Colorado will be much more hectic than Christmas morning. Because if you remember, the Broncos play on Christmas night. They had the last night game on Christmas. Oh, and now the Nuggets play on Christmas night. So I think it's going to be like a 7:30 kickoff for the Broncos, and it's 8:30 tip-off for the Nuggets. And they play the Timberwolves, which has kind of been their biggest rival outside of I guess the Oklahoma City Thunder over the last couple years. And the Broncos play the Chiefs. So
that sounds exciting.
Here we are. I know. So get everything out of the way. Cook the prime rib. Eat it as
what
fast
about
as you
family
can.
dinner? No.
Family dinner is out the window.
No.
It is family brunch on Christmas.
And you always think of Christmas being peaceful and
No,
quiet.
Kim, not today. Not this year.
I mean,
Kim, what's your dessert of choice on Christmas?
Ooh, good. I always something sweet. I don't know. Sometimes cheesecake.
Cheesecake is going to be thrown at the television this year. Some way, somehow.
In your household, I guess, huh?
I'll be in Kansas City.
You'll be in Kansas City.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
It is a sportsman's dream and a sportscaster's nightmare to have these Christmas night games.
Right.